வணக்கம். இன்னைக்கு நம்ம கூட வந்து டாக்டர் சக்தி பிரபா மேம் இருக்காங்க. ஷீ இஸ் a Dean of School of Humanities, Hindustan College of Arts and Science College, Chennai, India. Let's welcome her. Thank you very much for being with us, ma'am. இந்த ஒரு 60 minutes வந்து நிறைய விஷயங்களை பத்தி பேச போறோம். அண்ட் 3 செக்மெண்ட்ல ஒவ்வொரு செக்மெண்ட்லயும் வந்து ஒவ்வொரு விதமா இருக்க போது. முதல் செக்மெண்ட்டுக்குள்ள பத்தி, ரெண்டாவது செக்மெண்ட் வந்து பர்பஸ்ஃபுல் லிவிங்கை பத்தி, அதுக்கப்புறமா அதுல நீங்க நிறைய விஷயங்கள் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்க லைஃப்ல, அதை பத்தி. தேர்ட் செக்மெண்ட் வந்து கொஞ்சம் சர்ப்ரைஸ் செக்மெண்ட், அதை அங்க வரும்போது சொல்றேன். ஓவர் டு யூ மேம்.
Good morning, good evening to all the viewers here. So I want to thank Dr. Hari for giving such a wonderful opportunity to share my thoughts and my knowledge with the wonderful audience who are all live here watching this session. So I'm Dr. Sakthi Prabha, as Dr. Hari has introduced me. So I am the Dean and Head of Department of Social Work in Hindustan College of Arts and Science, Chennai. So this is my designation. So Dr. Hari, do I have to tell myself now? So
yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So the information what is my childhood which I want to share here. Actually, no, the time I remember when in my childhood was when I was in my UKG or first standard. That's what I remember very clearly. So my parents told me that I was born in Tambram, and when I was 8 months old, since my dad was working in Indian Air Force, so I was taken to Kanpur. So that was the first place where I went in my in my childhood. And as my dad was in Indian Air Force, so he used to travel to many places in India. So every 2 to 3 years, he will get transferred. And myself and my brother and my mother, no, as a family, we used to travel. So I remember the very beautiful travel memory with my brother and my family. Still, I remember the long journey trains, because when we were all small, no, we used to travel for days together, and still I remember those enjoyable days where we used to eat together and travel together, and we'll get down at every station and we really enjoy that travel. No, it always remains very fresh in my memory. All my school education went in North India, since my dad was in Indian Air Force. So I completed my primary education and higher secondary education in Pune and Chandigarh. So when I was when I came to 8th standard, my dad gave voluntary retirement, and he came back to Chennai. So we totally moved here, and I was more used to Hindi, and we were not much living in Chennai. So we used to come very rarely. So when I came here, it was a total new environment for me. But slowly we got adjusted, because since I've studied in many schools, adapting and adjusting has been very easy for me. So here I really loved the different atmosphere in Chennai. I joined Kendra Vidyalaya here in Tambram, and I continued my education. Until my 12th standard, I finished in CBSE, and after that, I joined for my undergraduation in Vaishnav College, which is in Krompet. So I was very normally from my childhood. No, I always had a fear that I have a stage fear. So I always wanted to work on those areas. So only thing what I always used to tell in my mind is try, you can do it. So I will voluntarily come forward and take a lot of activities in my school days, and I'll try to come and face the mic, because I know that I have these things. So I really wanted to take it out. So I always had kind of self motivation in me, and I pushed myself. And my dad went to abroad for 20 years. So I was with my mother and my brother. And we were living three, and my dad used to come once in two times he will visit us. So most of the time I was with my mother and my brother, and it was a very wonderful childhood we had. But I missed my father, because he was not staying with us. And I really love my father a lot. And he's my role model, and he was my source of inspiration, right from my childhood. So I learned from a lot of, even the subject. He loved economics, so I loved economics. So that is how he inspired me. And in many ways, I always wanted to make my father proud and my father happy. So that was always I used to think. So my whole world revolve around him, and still it revolves around him. I have a lot of respect for him, and whatever I am, it's all because of my parents. So after finishing my undergraduation, since I was a very loving child of my father, so he wanted me to see get married, but I wanted to study. So but he, since he was in abroad, so he wanted to get me married, and I got married, and there was a lot of problems in between and all. I was not able to continue my education after my graduation, but I always wanted to study, and even in my undergraduation, I was a university rank holder. But all my teachers always used to tell that I'm very good and really you can do something in your life and you are a good teacher. Everyone used to say, but I always wanted to run away from being a teacher. I remember my first standard class teacher told to my dad that I'm so talkative in the class. She keeps on talking. If you make her sit with an Hindi, speaking students, she talks in Hindi. If you make her speak with some other language, she talks in English. So she's very talkative. I think she's going to become a teacher. And I always used to say, no, I'm not going to become a teacher. So that was my initial thought. But later I realized that no, I am good at teaching. I think that is my skill. So after getting married, and there was nearly 10 years break in between, and my husband is a very supportive and a very encourageable person. So he, no, he supported me in all ways, and my son was born and he was in UKG. But to study and to learn was the thirst in me, and I think that was in my all level of my mind, and I always used to want to continue my study. But the big question was how to study. So one thing I tried in correspondence, but I was not comfortable in that, and I was looking for a good subject which can give me a little bit satisfaction. So before 10 years, no, my dad recommended me to go in computer science, but since he recommended, so I just proceeded. But I was not happy in that field. But that also in that field also I went in teaching. So I was a computer science teacher in Christ King School for some period of time. So I was totally in training, and I was also worked in some period in NIT LEADA also. So I was part of it. But I didn't feel any kind of satisfaction. My mind was looking for something else. So I started hearing about social work, and I really wanted to know what social work, because many of the people know still they don't know the difference between what is social work and social service. Actually, one incident happened in my life, which was a turning point in my life, which made me come into the field of social work. My dad was a very generous person, and he used to help everybody, and that also influenced in my childhood. So I really wanted to help people. I wanted one profession where I can help people and I can be happy and I can spread happiness and bring change in others life. So that was the only idea I had. But I don't know what course, because I didn't had any elders in the family to, to tell me or guide me that this can be the appropriate course for you. So when I was, no, so it was somewhere some 20 years back, more than 20 years back, when I was residing in my place, and no, I got 3 years after my marriage. So I was just thinking that no, I want to. There was one person who had a mental illness, and she was residing near my house. So she used to imagine herself like a queen, and she will imagine she's sitting in a courtyard addressing the people. So every people used to make fun of her, no, the way she was talking and all. But she was a very nice lady, and I really felt a very, kind of soft corner for that person. I felt the pain because of the mental illness that person was undergoing. And many times she was very friendly. She'll talk to me. Even if my son is playing outside, she'll come and ring the bell and she'll leave my son inside. So really that made me think that I should do something for this person, why she is on the road. And I really wanted to know what is the reason behind it. So I just went and I did a little bit of inquiry. I found out that she's a wife of an ex-military man, and she has one son who is living in another place, and he has left her on the road. So I really wanted to help her to take the treatment. So I just went on the internet and put various NGOs, and I found one NGO and contacted them and find out that how can I help this person. So that NGO said this, yes, you can come and drop her, but you have to go through police because we don't take her directly. So I took the help of the police station, and she was rescued. And I just, got her inside a home. So she was there. And I felt a little satisfied that, okay, now she's in a safe place. She'll get good food to eat, and at least she will be under the treatment and she'll be all right. But after certain days, no, I found out she was on the road again in the same situation. That really touched me a lot, and I thought this field is the area where I need to work in. So that triggered me, and I decided that I will go for my education. But that point was that I have to do a no, I have to go to a regular college. So that was a big question because I was around 28 years old, and going and sitting with a younger student was a big question. So one day I just asked my husband, I want to study in a regular college. I want to do MSW in Madras School of Social Work. He said, yes, you can do it. That was the only answer he gave. So I felt very happy that no, he was my source of support. And even my parents didn't understand what I'm going to do, but they were just watching. But my husband supported me a lot. So immediately I wrote a mail to the principal of the college, and he said, I said, I'm 28 plus. Can I study in a regular college? I said, no problem. You can come and join. We don't have, you just apply it. And I applied. And due to my early education and strong knowledge in English and other general knowledge, I was able to crack the entrance exam very easily, and I cleared the interview. So the first question they asked, why you are into social work? So I told this incident what happened. And I said, I really want to do something for the society. I really want to do people who are suffering with mental illness, and I want to work for that. I want to give my personal contribution. So that is the reason why I'm standing here. I don't know whether after finishing social work I'll get a job, but I think this is my area and this is my field, and I want to proceed in this. So that was the only answer I gave at that point of time. So all my classmates were 10 years younger to me. So it was first a few days, it was very, different kind of experience. But slowly I got used to their style. And Madras School of Social Work, it's one of the, very prestigious college in Chennai, which offers social work education. So I had a very wonderful knowledge experience from all my teachers. So whatever I am, it's because of my teachers in Madras School of Social Work and my undergraduate professors. So they trained us in all the ways. And so one idea I thought that, what is my contribution? Let me start by teaching, by entering into education. So that was a decision I took very long back. So after my MSW, I went around. I just joined another organization, worked as a social worker for 2 years, and I just came back and did my MPhil in social work, and I cleared my net, and immediately I joined as a social work professor in my own college where I studied. So my teachers became my colleagues. So it was a very unique experience for me, and I always thought of doing something new, something different, thinking different, and triggering my creativity so that I can contribute something different to the college. So after MSSW, I moved to Hindustan College of Arts and Science. So I was one of the initial staff who established this department of social work. So we started with post graduation department, and we did lot of activities. Year by year, we made the department grow one by one. So we started with local networking, then slowly we entered into the international arena. So today we have contact with MOU with two countries, and I have my own networks with a lot of people in the international countries. So this in during this COVID-19 pandemic also, I got a lot of opportunity to connect with a lot of social workers all over the world. So today I am very happy that the right decision I have taken on that one day. It was a thought of one night that I will go into social work, and I felt that yes, I am the social work person, and this is my field, and this is where I am. So today I'm very satisfied as a social work educator and as a social worker, and I am educating on mental health to my students. I'm motivating my students to become a good social workers in the field of mental health and all other community development areas also. So I really feel very proud and honored to be a social worker. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Lot of information in 15 minutes. You have actually packed the whole, so many years been packed in few minutes. Yet it's also clear and easy to visualize what has actually happened from your UKG to Dean at Hindustan. There are few areas which normally when we come across, we face certain challenges, hurdles, and there will be certain lessons from that. Can you elaborate on the lessons part alone which you have encountered in your journey so far? Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, I think my whole life is full of lessons, and I've kept on learning. I believe learning is lifelong, and we have to open to learning. That is very important. And I always learn from my failures, so that is very important. What I feel. So one proverb, no, which I always remember in my lifetime is it's not about how many times you fall down, but how many times you get up. So this is the message even I tell to my son, no, in his personal career also. I say it's okay if we face failure, it's okay, but it is important that we rise up and we just do it again and keep on trying. No, that is more important. So I think in my 10th standard, the first learning I start from my school. I was very playful and no very enjoying with all my friends, and I just missed my marks. And my parents, no, they were of the mind that engineering, doctor, so they always thought like that. They never thought of any other profession. So the moment I missed my marks, so they said, okay, it's okay, you just do a graduation. So that was their opinion. But I felt very bad that no, because I know I am very capable, but because of something somewhere something happened, I missed it. So at that point I decided that I am going to excel in my education. So in my 11th and 12th I was school second. So I put my whole heart and soul into studying, and I did all my own planning on my myself. I sit in one place and I will do perfect planning, and I did very well in my 11th and 12th. So even all the entrance exam, I was able to crack it. Even my parents were shocked. How come I'm doing? Because they didn't even realize what I was. So I really made them that I am really different. And when I went for undergraduation, also I was the topper in the class, and I got university rank holder. So my education, I just changed. So that was my learning. So I just changed the entire scenario. So it comes inside. If you really bring it inside, no, you can bring a lot of changes. And in my actually there are a lot of failures in my life which I am not sharing here, because I think it's better that I talk on the positive side more. So a lot of personal failures I had in my life in a very young age, when I was 19 and 20. At that age, no, you are so young and you cannot take decisions, but I really thought that I have to do a, that's it, that is what I want to do, so let me do it. So I never thought what will be the consequences, but to my mind, to my heart, what I felt, it's right, I did it. But today I think I have taken the right decision. So all my failures have been one of my teachers, which has taught me, how to equip myself, how to be more self-confident, and how to self-motivate myself. So it's not only in my college days and later also, but today also in this current scenario also I'm facing a lot of challenges, but I know how to handle now, because all my learnings what I've done in my lifetime, no, has made me an expert I think within myself to handle the situation. Because I just say to myself, it's okay, you can handle it. When you have done something, it's nothing. And only one thing what I always tell to my mind is that concentrate on your present. Don't think about your past, because past is over, and let's not worry about the future. And let me think on the present situation. And I have done my best in my life, whatever the knowledge I have acquired and efforts I have taken. And another learning, I'll tell the hard work. There is no shortcut to success, and there is no formula for happiness. It's only our choice. So if we decide we are going to be happy, we are going to be happy. And all our thoughts, emotions, everything is in our control. So if you decide that I am going to have a positive thought, you are going to have a positive thought. So these are the learnings, and I keep on practicing in my everyday life. And everyday life, I have certain affirmations in me, and every time I think that I should follow it. And these kind of learning has also come from the mistakes what I have done. So I always think that I should be, I should practice a lot of gratitude and spread unconditional love. I should not expect. I'm not a kind of business kind of person, so I never entered that area itself, because I think I'm not suitable. I cannot excel in that field. So that is one. And second thing is, I always feel that no, it is okay. Let's do it. And how I am going to do it. So a little bit of planning is very essential. That also I have learned. So it is very important that no, we learn from our mistakes and we change it and we go ahead. So that is a big learning, and I think no, life is going to be like this. It is going to be a lot of challenges will be there, and it is very important how are we going to look into these challenges into opportunities. If I have not taken the right decision, I think I'll be a housewife in the home cooking and no living inside the four walls of the family. So out of my challenges, I have challenged my problems, and today I am sitting as a social work educator and talking in various virtual platform on various concepts of social work. So I think that is a big learning what I've learned in my life, and it's very important.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The next question is more on like you had touched upon certain areas during when I asked about the learning part. Uh, Failures help me to correct myself. Failures help me to grow stronger. Failures help me to, in fact, understand life better. Can you elaborate on that one part? Because not on the failures, but I'm saying more on the strength it gives when an energy is formed, especially when we see a failure or a challenge. It is how we divert that energy makes us or breaks us. So elaborate on that pattern because that is more required, especially now more than ever, where even certain slight situations are aggravating or triggering people to take certain extreme decisions. So I feel like this is the right time to talk on that particular part. Man. Over to you.
Everyone in their day-to-day life, we experience a failure. It's not one person experiencing and all others are happy. But many people think that no, this is only happening to me and others are all happy. But that is not the real scenario. I listen to a lot of speakers who have addressed in this virtual platform. Even they have beautifully shared their success story. So everyone has their story, and when we face failure we have to accept it. Okay, this is my position and how am I going to move in. Just thinking, overthinking is where the problem comes in. When we have failure, we keep on thinking it again and again and again. When we do a lot of overthinking, no, your whole thinking process will revolve around it. And we know that our thinking, feelings and behaviors are all interconnected. When you have overthinking, it will lead to, and it is more dominated by negative thinking. When you think that okay, it's gone, my life is over, how, what I am going to do, it's going, I don't know, I don't feel any light in my, in my life. Where is the direction? I really need someone, no, like that, no, we have that kind of feelings. So when you have negative thoughts, definitely it will lead to negative feelings, which will make you more depressed and make you more sad and worrying, and a kind of fear and a worriness will come about the future. So when people experience these kind of negative emotions, definitely their behavior will be very negative. So it is very important to accept, okay, this is the failure. Because in my life instance also, I'll tell you, which I cannot tell you very clearly, but I'll just tell some few points. At the age of very young age of 19 to 20, my life was over. To tell in a very simple term, my life was over. And a lot of people came around from, all from the relatives, and said it's okay, it happens in everybody's life, it's like that, it's like this, you have to take it up, you have to live like that, you have to live like this, like that. Lot of advices were coming, but I never listened to those advices, but I just nodded the head because they were the elders of the family. But my mind started working that there is only one way. Either I'm going to handle it or I'm going to leave it. But one thing, what I strongly followed, my heart is that I am going to do it. I am going to change it. And the people who saw my situation or the problem at that time, they are there, but I advanced. I moved from that place to another place. So I see myself growing professionally, educationally, personally. So I think that is the right decision. So people should not get stuck into the problem, stuck into the failures. So it is okay, because everyone in this world faces failure. Even in our social work practitioners, no, we see that even for small problems, people take adverse actions, which is not required. So they need a little bit of strong mind. Only thing, the problems will differ and people differ, and we have the right we have to look at the right perspective of how, what is the problem, how I am going to handle it. So that is what I did in my personal life. So the failure happened. People were watching me, and no, there was one thought what others will think, but I never bothered about that. After time, I in the initial I did that. I felt that okay, what people will think if I do like this, do like that. But later I decided no, it's my life and I have to build it, and I am going to decide what. So even I don't remember even asking my parents what I'm going to do, but I took my decision and I moved forward. So I think that is the way we have to look. The way we look at the problem, no, the perspective has to change, and little bit of hope is essential, because no hope and trust in life. These two values. If you see psychology, the first value which comes in a baby is trust and hope. So that is very important, and we have to build our hope and trust in life that everything will become all right, and no, it will change. And life is full of pluses and minuses. So let us handle our minuses and appreciate our pluses in our life. That is more important. And just move on.
Thank you, ma'am. This is actually something when people explain it, and then it's easier said than done. And also when you said, like, there are certain things which has happened personally and you have overcome it, like, coming from a person who has experienced it as a different weightage, different value. And I respect that you have shared this in such a way where people could easily relate and understand. Now we'll move to the next stage. There are a lot of people who have limiting beliefs, and whether it's knowingly or unknowingly, while they grow up, again, well-meaning positive people, or well-meaning negative people rather, who I mean is like people who are around the family members, or who are staying near the house. When the kid is growing, they mean good, but only thing they think in a negative way. They do not allow the kid to spread the wings. So by the time the kid reaches a certain age, they even though they have strong wings, they feel that they can't fly. Or in another words, like, by the time they start the school and they reach the college, they have been given different lenses, so they see through those lenses and they can't actually see the world clearly, and especially they can't see themselves clearly. Can you elaborate on that part, please? Like, how to come out of these kind of unwanted chains which is clinging on to them, and which is basically opinion of others, and as a result that is stopping these people to grow.
Yes, I think my own personal life is attached with this question, because I remember, I should not share this, but I think it's important for the parents. When the baby is born, no? So it is very important that, especially in our country, we see that female no babies are not treated equally in few families. I won't tell, because in many families we do celebrate, but many times they don't like a girl to be born. Because I remember when my mother shared one day that no, when I was born, my grandmother was unhappy and telling that why a girl was born, and no, but my mother said since I have a boy, so I want a girl. So when the point when she shared, I really felt little bad, and I thought, okay, so this is a male dominating, no, what they are talking on. So definitely, when we grow, no, the belief system in the family, and many times they tell that you have to be like this, you have to be like that, and we start looking at I know the viewpoint of our family and all other belief systems what we have. But what happens is that no, after when we are very young, we are not able to understand. But after a period of time, we have to look for the self. That is, the self awareness is very important. I remember when I started talking about self awareness when I was in my post graduation, where I was talking about what is self awareness, what are the concepts of self, and how to understand ourselves. But now I think the awareness level is very high, and people should understand their self. What is me? What are my positives, and what are my strengths? What are my no challenges? So that is very important. So I think when the understanding of the self comes, we will break that lens, and we'll start looking in a different perspective. The role of parenting is very important. That is my strong point, which I want to insist here. all the parents should create a positive environment for the children, and make them talk, let them express their opinions and what they feel, no, right from the young age. Because actually this parenting is very beautiful. I There is a lot of story from epics also says that how a baby listens in the mother's womb. So the baby, it learns from the mother's womb. That's why they say when you are pregnant you have to listen to very good music and all. So this the home atmosphere is very important, because we say family is the basic institution in which we live in. So the parents have to have a broad outlook, and they should not no make them control or let them do what they want. Because at the very young, no, actually our kids are very creative and they are very talented. So when we create the right atmosphere, they really can do a lot of creative things. I see a lot of small children's, they do very beautiful experiments and they're putting on the Facebook. I think the credit goes to the parents who have created such a supportive environment for those children's, and they are able to do it. But what happens when this kind of environment is not provided? The social environment which is there in the family, when it is not provided, the child will not have freedom to do. So every time it will be a dependent child, and it will look forward for the parents for no decisions. So that's what I said when I was small. So I just listened to my parents, but at one point of time, I decided that I have to look on own. So this kind of, I think this kind of perspective will come at the different age for the different individuals. So the parenting should be a positive parenting. So that is very important. The family should create a positive environment for the children's. And if children are experiencing this kind of belief system, then they have to change themselves. They have to change their perspective, because they cannot go and change the other beliefs no, of the family members, which is not in their control. But their values, their beliefs, and no, their thoughts are in their control, so that they can change it and look in a very broader perspective. Actually, this generation is very blessed because they have plenty of opportunity
Correct.
over with Google. Just put www dot and they get everything in a within a minute of time, which I think we all miss when we were in school days and college days.
Very well said, ma'am. Because a lot of things now, the Mada Pita Guru Devam has turned Mada Pita Google Devam. A lot of information is available for them online. As you rightly said, I have high respect for people who did research when Google was not there, or when the internet was not there. Coming to the next area, ma'am, one we saw about the focus on the belief part and limiting beliefs in those areas. Next, I would like to touch on once they have set their goal, and when they don't reach it, okay, they have set the goal, belief system, and then the next one they have come to setting goal, and then they have set the goal. But in case if they have not reached, and if they've if it's a failure, we see not all, but some understand it and they go with the right approach. But most of them change the goal rather than changing a strategy. Can you elaborate on that part, ma'am? Because ultimate success formula says very clearly, when you don't reach your goal, change your strategies till you reach it, and then repeat till you evolve, and then again go to the next stage. But then here we see the other way around. So can you elaborate on that one?
I think it's a positive approach of changing your goal. It's okay when you set a goal and when you're not able to reach it. Instead of getting disappointed and getting discouraged, no, it's better you realign your goal. So that is, I think that is very important, and you do what you are able to do in that particular situation. See, many times, no, when we make things very fixed, and you just want to do it, or that's it. So if that is not happening, it will cause a lot of disappointment, and when you have a disappointment, definitely it will make us feel bad or sad, which is not healthy for a person. So, only thing what I want to say is that life is full of choices, and we have to take the decisions. So, happiness is your choice, sadness is your choice, and the goal what you're going to take up is a choice. Normally in our families, no, but I don't know now it is happening. But earlier there's a boy means is engineering, girl means is medical. So that is how the parents will talk. So from the childhood they'll talk about medicine. But in my own personal experience in my college, I see a lot of no children students crying that they wanted to go for medicine, but they have landed in some other course. And they tell a lot of reasons behind it, and they feel it very sad. But in our counseling process, we tell them that it's okay, because you had a plan, but now you have come into a good subject, and you can realign yourself, and you can reach that point of time. And I think if you have observed in many of our lives, no, when we set a goal, we will take a different path, but that different path will lead very near to that goal. So I have my own experience. What I want to share is that my parents wanted to make me doctor, but since I didn't perform, so I missed that. So they thought that apart from doctor, there is no other profession. So that was their idea. But I took economics, and I did my medical and psychiatric social work, and I was working with the doctors. Maybe in my childhood, I had a no, because they made me think on that ground. So I like to work in medical and psychiatric field. So there is some sort of connection. So at one point of time, what people, I think it's good that if you are able to, if you set a goal, and if one strategy is not working out, then you have plan A, plan B, and you try that. And if that is also not working out, then realign your goal. That is nothing wrong in it, because there is no right and wrong, no fixed formula in life. So it depends upon person to person, and how we are going to look in that perspective. And it is our life, and I think we write our own life script, and we have the choices how we are going to look no on it. And there is nothing like that. If you go in this profession, you're going to make a big no very you're going to be a big person. If you take the another profession, not going to do like that. It depends on the passion. So whatever the profession you do, just give your full, and you'll really become successful. So people have to look for, always think that I have a choice, so let me take my choice and go. No, just move ahead. That is the
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Because the different school of thoughts, and I do understand and respect your view on that. Now, moving on to the next one, where okay, they have belief system is taken care, goal is taken care, success and failure is taken care. Once they reach what they've reached, once whatever goal they've set, after reaching it, we see a lot of people they reach a saturation point there. Instead of continual, we see continuous growth, where people, like, once they reach that spot, they feel like, okay, too much of success also drains people. Not only the other side, where too much of a failure drains people. How do you see that, and how do you think people can improve from there, ma'am? Especially on a continual platform, like, where they go stabilize, and then they grow, they stabilize. That is missing with most. Why would that be? And what could we do as faculties or educationists to help students?
actually I'm a very I'm not a big expert on this. I'm just sharing my experience and knowledge. What we have in my I'm nearly 47 years old, so whatever I have seen in my life, I'm sharing. So I'm not an expert. பட் எதுவுமே அளவுக்கு மீறி எதுவுமே வந்து நல்லது இல்லைன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ எனிதிங் விச் இஸ் கோஸ் பியாண்ட் த லிமிட். நோ ஸோ ஒரு ஒரு வெரைட்டி இருக்கணும். ஸோ ஒரே மாதிரி விஷயம் ரொம்ப நிறைய போகும்போது ஐ திங்க் வி ரியலி ஃபீல் லிட்டில் போர்ட். So we need to make some changes in our life, because many people know they excel in many sphere. They concentrate in many areas. They are very good at business, and they concentrate on painting, drawing, doing some gardening and like that. So it gives a kind of varied interest in their day to day life. I think no, and rombo on the like no this is okay. I have achieved. I think it depends on person to person. That's what I say. Okay. And what I mean to say is that after a limit, you have to see it's your mind and it's your thought, and you have to work it on another. Maybe if you're doing one monotonous activity, so you can divert in some other activities, because there is no limit. No. So long no, we have Abhaya telling no, there's a lot of things to learn in this world. So it's okay, you can divert yourself, and if something is making you feel little no low or little bad, then you have to divert yourself. Because, for example, in this quarantine, we are all sitting at home, and we do take online classes. If I keep on taking online classes, I'll feel very difficult. What I do is that I listen to webinars, I do online classes, I do a little bit of gardening, I play with my pet. So I think we need varieties of activities.
Rightly said, ma'am. Rightly said. Because variety is the spice of life. But I did. There are certain areas where the reason I harped on that particular point is once we reach, when there is no proper guidance, people stagnate there, and living on the past glory actually pulls them from moving forward, and they get anchored in that particular spot. And by being anchored, and when they see people around them moving forward, and when they attempt to go, they feel that they're anchored and they can't move. At that point, they look for some support. In joint families, where when all the elders were there, where some sort of guidance was there, of course it comes with pros and cons, I do understand that. When they support and give some advice, it helped. Now it has come to a stage where husband and wife living together has become a joint family, where we come to a nuclear family stage. A lot of the next area where I'm heading to is this lockdown. We have seen a lot of people, since they stayed for this 30 days or 50 days or 70 days together, they understood that they didn't have a meaningful life for the past 7 years, and they divorced. This happened in China. There's a huge spike in other countries as well. It's a serious issue, but what actually I felt was like, whomever I spoke, in a very lighter note, they said like, okay, what was the positive thing of the lockdown? They said, I got to know my wife better, or I got to know my husband better was the comment. Okay, even though we say it on a lighter side, it's a serious issue when it comes to relationship. And why do you think these kind of staying together for, they've been there for 5 years, 7 years, or 8 years, have a couple of kids, but this lockdown period has made them realize that they're not for each other?
So again, I just want to say I'm not an expert, but I'll just share as a psychiatric social worker what I feel on that. The basic problem, frictions in family, is the communication. When you are, no, when both husband and wife go for work, or when the spouse is going out and another person is staying at home, we don't have time. No, we are so busy, and we just get up and no, we get ready fast in the morning, and we go and we come back, and hardly we spend time together, so the communication time becomes very less. But in lockdown, what has happened is that the whole day is there, and no, the whole family is sitting inside, and we are not used to, see, in many families, when the communication is very good, then there won't be any problem, where people empathize, husband empathizing wife, and wife empathizing husband is very essential. The understanding and the communication is a key. And in see we normally I see a lot of jokes in some Facebook pages and all that. No, everybody is sitting on the dining table and they are using their mobiles, so everybody is enjoying their mobiles and they are eating. So earlier, I remember when we were small, the TV was the no we people used to watch TV and eat. Now we are all totally on these gadgets, so we are not personally talking with each other. So when they are staying at home, so now the problem comes in, no, when no, they don't have a proper understanding, and when they are not able to communicate with each other. I remember one thought which was shared in one webinar. For example, no, when we are so posted in a webinar, and when the family members are there, and when we are in one two rooms house, and we tell the family members that I'm on webinar and you should remain quiet and should not come and disturb me. But the people will think, oh, the person is sitting, no, then they want to do something, and they think that they are not allowing. So because of that, no, even the person who's sitting in the webinar also is not comfortable. So the other family members, when they understand, so the person said that you have to communicate to the family that I am going to sit as a resource person, and this webinar is going to last for 1 hour, and it will be good that no, if you all do not enter my room and let me do it. So if that communication is communicated very clearly, then the family members will not come and disturb them, and the everything goes on the smoother way. So communication and spending quality time. The quantity time is not important. The quality time is important. How much time we are spending for each other. I'll share my own house example. My both of us are working, and my son is also in college. So you can understand how hectic schedule it be in the morning. And I am totally after 9:30. I am totally into college till 5 o'clock. So now when I'm sitting on webinar, my husband brings a cup of coffee and keep it on the table because he sees me that I am no attending. I'm taking classes, so I'll be tired. I really that point I just melt down because that really brings me a lot of happiness in me. So I think that is what is required in the families where we have to understand each other, communicate no each other very clearly, and spend a quality. Why don't no apart from you can just sit with the husband and wife can sit in the garden, put a chair and sit and talk with each other and share a wonderful memories what we have instead of arguing on no unnecessary things which is not going to be productive. So it is very, and if suppose you are feeling very, very much emotional and you really want to show, just keep quiet, take a break, and don't show those emotions on others because it is not their problem. When you are showing an emotional outburst, it is your problem. So you have to work it out. I think we have to take a break, then go back and handle it. So everything will be smooth and the unconditional love is essential. No, எனக்கு இது வாங்கி கொடுக்கல எனக்கு அது வாங்கி கொடுக்கல so சொல்றதோட so because when we are in marriage love arrange but after marriage we start loving each other and that love has to be there. So I think if that understanding and proper communication is there, then there won't be much problem. The reason is a lot of ego problems, lot of financial problems, everything is there, and they just think about no the problematic areas. They're not looking into the beautiful opportunity which we are getting in this COVID period to spend time with the family.
Okay.
I enjoy every moment really, instead of thinking of all the problems also going, that also I feel it. But I do cooking with my son. We both cut vegetables and try all these YouTube channel what they are doing. All these kind of things we do it, and we have a very beautiful organic garden in my next plot. So me and my husband we spend 1 hour in the morning and 2 hours in the evening in doing gardening, and I love going plucking all the fresh vegetables from my garden. And I cook for my lunch. It is really very good.
Thank you, ma'am. Very well said. And in fact, it's more like a revision of Men Are from Mars and Women Are from Venus, John Gray's book. It's nice that you brought that up. We move on to the third segment, which is a surprise segment. You have become CM. Dr. Sakthi Prabha is a CM of Tamil Nadu. What are the 3 things she will focus on? And ma'am, what are the areas the reason for focusing those 3 areas? You are, briefly talk on that as well.
I think my social work will definitely touch me in this area. So one area what I feel is that there is need of lot of psychiatric no health facilities in many remote areas because the people because of stigma and discrimination they do not have access to these kind of services. So psychiatric health services should be provided at every level, even to the villages, so that people when they experience since we have a little bit of psychology and psychiatric background we are able to handle, but sometimes when people are in problem they really don't know how to handle, so they really need a help. So I think I'll strengthen the area of psychiatric social work, healthcare, and more of counseling services at school, which is very essential because a lot of problems are faced by the adolescent, and definitely many poverty eradication program because poverty is a very big pandemic what we have all over the country. So definitely I'll work on this this poverty eradication program. And another my favorite area is working for the girls, the young girls who have been after marriage, who have been abandoned by the family and the husband, and they really they are in a very difficult situation. So a home for them where they can stay and they can equip themselves and become a productive citizens of the country. I think these are the 3 areas which touches my heart.
Thank you, ma'am. All 3 areas are crucial areas and burning issue what we face nowadays. The next one is a gratitude slot where you can go ahead and name the people who have helped you to be who you are today, who you owe your success to, You can name them and thank them. Please go ahead, ma'am.
So the first, I want to thank God for giving me such a self-confidence and courage in my life to take all the decisions and make me strong through all my difficult times and made me a person to talk on different topics. So I'm very grateful to God. I'm very grateful to my parents, my loving parents who have played a very active role in my life. If they are not, I think I'm not here. So the support what they have given in my childhood until now, they are supporting me in all the ways. And my husband, my loving husband, and my loving son, who are my pillars of strength, and my pet, who are at home, who are my loving creatures. I'm really, because they keep me happy every day, so I'm thankful to them. And my teachers have played a very vital role in my life. My right from, I think I remember my first standard teacher, Hema Malini ma'am, who at that time itself that I'm going to be a teacher. So she wrote my, I think, what I'm going to be in future. So I think I'm very grateful. I don't know where she is. So I am very thankful to her and all my undergraduate professors of SDNB Vaishnav College, who made me feel that I can do it. So I am capable and really I can bring change in others' life. And of course, my Meras School of Social Work professors, Dr. Nalini Rao, Dr. Fatima Vasan. So they all played a very important role in my life. And Hindustan College of Arts and Science, I'm very grateful. I entered as a faculty and today I'm a dean. So they recognize my effort and my hard work, and they have really given me all the credits. And I really feel proud that I'm a faculty member of Hindustan and a social worker at last. It's a great blessing. I'm very thankful to Dr. Hari for giving such a wonderful opportunity
Thanks.
is my thoughts. So thank you. So I think I've thanked and all the other family members. நிறைய என்னை பத்தி பிளஸஸ் மைனஸ் சொல்லியிருக்கலாம். அவங்களுக்குலாம் கூட நான் தேங்க்ஸ் சொல்லணும். ஏன்னா அப்பதான் எனக்கு அந்த வேகம் வந்தது நிறைய விஷயம் செய்யறதுக்கு. ஸோ ஐம் தேங்க்ஃபுல் டு ஆல்.
தேங்க்யூ மேம். நெக்ஸ்ட் வந்து இப்போ அஃப்கோர்ஸ் மைல்ஸ் டு கோ பிஃபோர் ஐ ஸ்லீப் அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம். பட் இது வரைக்கும் இருக்கிற நீங்கள் கடந்து வந்த பாதையில் நிறைய விஷயங்களை பற்றி நம்ம அலசணும், பல ஆங்கிளில் சில விஷயங்களையும் பேசணும். இந்த லைஃப் இது வரைக்கும் கற்றுக் கொடுத்த ஒரு பாடம், முக்கியமான பாடம் என்ன அப்படின்றது சொல்லுங்க.
நான் அதுதான் சொல்வேன், எத்தனை தடவை விழுந்தாலும் ஏஞ்சி நிற்பேன். So that is my lesson, what I've learned, and there is no shortcut to success. So you have to work hard, and happiness is in your hand. I think that is the big learning. இதுக்கு மேல எத்தனை பிரச்சனை வந்தாலும் ஏஞ்சி நிற்பேன். So that is my firm decision in my life.
Good. தேங்க்யூ மேம். இன்னைக்கு வந்து ரொம்ப ஒரு ஸ்பெஷலான ஷோ. நம்ம இது வந்து ஒரு பாசிட்டிவ் ரிப்பிள்ஸ் கிரியேட் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு தான் ஆரம்பித்தோம். இது ஒரு சொட்டு தான். இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ப்ரோக்ராம் எடுக்கிறது, ஒருத்தர் நமக்கு தெரிஞ்சவங்களை கூப்பிட்டு வர்றது, அவங்களுடைய லைஃப்பை பற்றி சொல்கிறது, அவங்களுடைய இண்டஸ்ட்ரியை பற்றி சொல்கிறது, அவங்க எப்படி வந்துட்டு அவங்கள சுற்றி இருக்கவங்கள சந்தோஷமாக வச்சுக்கிட்டாங்க, பாசிட்டிவாக இம்பாக்ட் பண்ணாங்கன்னு சொல்கிறது. பட் இது நம்மளுடைய நம்பிக்கை என்னென்னா, இந்த சொட்டு சொட்டாக கன்சிஸ்டண்டாக வந்துட்டு இருக்கும்போது அது ரிப்பிள்ஸாக மாறும், கொஞ்சம் பெரிய லெவல் ரிப்பிள்ஸாக மாறும். அது வந்து ஒரு வேவாக கொண்டு போகும். அது வரும்போது நான் இருப்பனோ இல்லையோ, பட் இந்த வீடியோ வந்து நிறைய பேருக்கு அது கிரியேட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோன்னு நம்பிக்கை. இது இன்னைக்கு வந்து 50வது கெஸ்ட் மேம் நீங்கள். ஸோ எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம் நீங்கள் வந்து இவ்வளோ முக்கியமான கருத்துக்கள், அதுவும் ஒரு 50வது கெஸ்ட்டாக வந்து சொன்னது. அண்ட் ரெண்டாவது முக்கியமான விஷயம், இப்போ நம்ம பார்த்துக்கிட்டு இருக்கிறது, இங்கே உள்ள என்னுடைய சர்க்கிளில் உள்ளவங்க, இந்த ஃபேஸ்புக் பேஜை ஃபாலோ பண்ணுறவங்க, உங்களுடைய ஃபேஸ்புக் லிஸ்ட்டில் இருக்கவங்க அப்படின்ற மட்டும் இல்லாமல், அமெரிக்கா டிவின்ட்டு யூஎஸ் உடைய முதல் தமிழ் வெப் பேஸ்ட் டிவி, they are also telecasting this simultaneously. People are watching there. ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம் மேம். எனக்கு வந்து ஆக்சுவலி இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு முக்கியமான கருத்துக்கள், அதுவும் வாழ்க்கைக்கு முக்கியமான கருத்துக்கள், இந்த 50வது எக்ஸ்பர்ட் டாக்ஸ் வித் ஹரியில் வந்து அதுவும் உங்க மூலமா வந்து மக்களை போய் சேர்ந்ததுல ஐம் ரியலி ஹாப்பி. அண்ட் டெஃபினட்டா உங்களுடைய நல்லெண்ணங்கள் எல்லாமே நிறைவேற என்னுடைய வாழ்த்துக்கள். தேங்க்ஸ் மேம்.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hari, for the wonderful opportunity. So I think in this COVID-19 இது ஒரு நல்ல ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி இல்ல, நம்ம எல்லாரும் வர்ச்சுவலி வந்து மீட் பண்றோம். ஸோ என்னோட கான்ட்ரிபியூஷன் கூட என்னோட யூடியூப் சேனல் நான் ஆரம்பிச்சுட்டு நிறைய மோட்டிவேஷன் செஷன் ஷேர் பண்றேன். ஸோ ஐ விஷ் யூ அண்ட் நோ ஐ ப்ரே காட் தட் நோ ஹி வில் கிவ் யூ அ வெரி லாங் லைஃப் and you will contribute many more no important aspects. I know how it is very how much effort you are taking contacting so many people and bringing and talking, and I really love your sessions and I am your continuous follower because
thank you.
I am following. So moment you became online, it comes in my mobile, Hari, I immediately come and join. So I enjoy. So I'm very deep down from my heart, I thank you for this wonderful opportunity, and feel very proud to be the guest on this 50th episode of yours. So thank you very much.
Thanks much.
Bye.
மேம் வந்து அவங்க காலேஜில் ஒரு வாட்டி கிளாஸ் எடுக்க போயிருந்த பொழுது ஐ மெட்டர், அண்ட் சின்ஸ் தென் த வே ஷி டாக்ஸ் வித் த ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், ஹவு ஷி ஹேண்டில்ஸ் த ஹோல் காலேஜ் எல்லாமே வந்து ரொம்ப வித்தியாசமாக இருந்தது. நிறைய பேர் வந்து இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஃபேக்கல்ட்டி நமக்கு இருந்திருக்க மாட்டாங்களா அப்படின்னு தோணும் இல்லையா, அந்த மாதிரி இருந்தாங்க. அண்ட் ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம் இன்னைக்கு வந்து நம்ம 50வது எபிசோடுக்கு மேம் வந்தது. இப்போ அடுத்த ஒரு கெஸ்ட் வந்துட்டு கனடாலேருந்து வந்திருக்காங்க. ஷீஸ் ஒரு ஆத்தர் அண்ட் ரேடியோ ஹோஸ்ட் ராஷ்மின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. ஸோ இன்னும் ஒரு ஃபியூ மினிட்ஸில் அவங்களோட உங்களை சந்திக்கிறேன்.